Good evening, Shackley family. It's Dr. Jamie McManus, Chairman of Medical Affairs, Health Sciences, and Education, here with our third in a series of 3 Cinch webinars. We are excited to be here tonight with having had really incredible feedback and great numbers on these first 2 webinars. And tonight is potentially the most important one, especially from the standpoint of what we're going to be covering tonight, because tonight really pulls everything together and makes the products work as well as the business opportunity be as successful as possible for people, because the more support that people get, the more education that people get, we know that the better results they're going to be achieving with the Cinch program. So tonight we're going to focus on Cinchwellness.com, and Pam Manning, our Senior Health Sciences Manager and Registered Dietitian, who has created so much of the Cinch health content for you all to use successfully for yourself as well as all the people that you're bringing to the Cinch program, is here to walk you all through just exactly what is on the Cinch Wellness site as well as how to utilize it. So we know that what is needed for success to get firmly planted on the pathway to weight loss as well as to better health is to not only have the greatest products, which we have without a question with our program, but also to provide people with education about how to eat healthfully, help in really accountability to really get on track with doing the right thing and making the changes that they need to make in their lives, to make in your lives, those of you who are on this call, for your own usage as well as to help others, and to provide a social support network as well, to talk to and be motivated by other people who are going through some of the same things you are. So without further ado, I really want everyone to pay close attention to everything tonight, because this is going to be a very, very valuable webinar. I'll be back at the end of this webinar to join Pam for our Q&A session, which we always do at the end of our Health Sciences call. And take it away, Pam.
Thank you, Dr. Jamie, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight to what I think is one of the most important parts of the Cinch program, really giving you the support you need through a great tool called Cinchwellness.com. One of the things that I wanted to share with folks is that just recently, I think it's the February issue of Scientific American, they've done a whole article about the obesity epidemic and kind of summarizing what the science says about losing weight and keeping it off, and really how we can begin to fix the obesity crisis. And it's kind of interesting because they summarize, some of the learnings that we've had in terms of the different types of diets out there and what seems to work better than others. And of course, here at Shackley, we strongly believe that the Cinch program, the design of the products and the meal plans, the leucine, the protein, carbohydrate, and fat ratios of the meal plans all really do help with the preservation of lean muscle mass, promoting quality weight loss from fat, and we truly believe that. But one of the things that this Scientific American article points out, and another thing that we've really believed, is that it can be more than what you eat. There are so many things in our lives that affect our eating behaviors, our lifestyles, and our ability to maintain a healthy diet and exercise habits for life. And so in this article, they talk about kind of 4 key steps to losing weight. And this is related to the whole Cinchwellness.com concept and why we have this valuable tool for folks. So one of the things they talk about is a baseline assessment. You can't begin to make any change unless you know where you're starting, and really understanding, what your weight is, what your BMI is, how is that affecting your health, what are the things that trigger your challenges for losing the weight and keeping it off, the emotional things, the other things that might be triggering your behaviors. The second step was really looking at behavior shifts. Small things can make a huge difference. They were talking about things that you've all probably heard before, taking the stairs instead of, stairs instead of the elevator or escalator, parking farther away at the shopping center and walking, to the mall, and really making small behavior changes that can improve your diet and exercise habits, drinking more water, eating more fruits and vegetables, all of those things, and setting some small behavior shift goals. The other key important part, which completely relates to cinchwellness.com, is self-monitoring. And I've talked about this a lot when I go out and talk about Cinch, because I truly believe that if you track your calories, you track your exercise, you use the tools on the site that we're going to show you tonight, helps you stay aware. Even if you don't have perfect behavior, that's okay. It's the act of tracking it down and holding yourself accountable that can make a difference in your awareness and your ability to stay on track. So self-monitoring is one of the most effective tools for enhancing success. And then the fourth one was about support groups, and I've talked about this too, the importance of social support. You really do need people in your life that are going to support your changes to your lifestyle. Many of us have maybe friends or family that actually sabotage our efforts to make these changes because either they're not ready to make them themselves or they're happy keeping you status quo of how they know you to be. So really finding, whether it be a diet buddy, a support group, an online tool that you can connect with others that are using the plan is certainly an option that you have with Cinchwellness. So let's move on to cinchwellness.com. And what I'm going to do tonight for the next probably 40 minutes or so is to walk you through some screenshots of the site. Originally, I'd hoped to kind of just do a live demo, but we decided based on some of the technical challenges that people might have viewing it from their homes, different computer speeds, it was better to just capture some detailed screenshots and just try to walk you through the key benefits and features. Because what I really want you to get out of tonight is just a general idea of what this site has to offer. This is not a detailed tutorial, but I am highlighting what I think are the key benefits and features. And to be honest, you have to get on the site. You have to play around with it to be comfortable with it and really make it work for you. And it is pretty user-friendly, I would have to say, and pretty self-explanatory. And there's lots of tools to help you understand the different features as we go through it, and I'll point some things out. So I'm going to take you through a variety of different benefits and features. And to start with, I wanted to kind of give some just general steps on how you would get started to sign up. And the screen that you see right now is the kind of the welcome page for Cinchwellness. So if you were to go on to www.cinchwellness.com, this is where you would come to. And the first step is really to be a Shaklee member. You need your membership ID and password in the Member Center to actually do the Cinchwellness setup. So for those of you who are already members, you have your membership ID and your password, and you'll be able to move on to the next step. So what you would be doing is, if you're already a Shaklee member, you would click on the Sign Up Here Today, and that would take you to the Shaklee Member Center. So here's kind of the steps that you would take to get the sign-up process going. So you would go on to cinchwellness.com, you would hit that Sign Up Today button, it would take you to the Shaklee Membership Center. You would enter your membership ID and password, and it would take you to the Cinchwellness.com setup page. You'll click Sign Up, and there it starts asking you to choose your payment option. And as many of you probably know, this site is a paid site, although you can access 3 months free by the purchase of a Cinch Starter Kit or the Cinch Sampler Pack promotion that we have going on currently. And I'll tell you the steps there to access that free 3 months. But otherwise, it's $3.50 a month, or you can do $9.95 for 3 months. I think the site even says you can sign up for a year and put your payment option in there. If you do have a Cinch Starter Kit or a Cinch Sampler Pack, what you would do would be clicking on, there's a section that says redeem your 3 months free. What you do need is the order number associated with the purchase of that starter kit or sample pack. And once you have that order number, then you can enter that in, and it will take you to the next screen, which is setting up your initial Cinchwellness profile. It will ask you for your height, your weight, your age, your weight loss goals, and you'll fill out that preliminary information. You'll also create your Cinchwellness.com username and password, which are different than your membership ID to the Shaklee membership. So you'll just create what you want your username and password to be to log on to the Cinchwellness.com. Once you do that, you will receive a confirmation email saying, welcome to Cinchwellness. Here's your confirmation of your username and password, and you're free now then to go back to Cinchwellness.com and log in. And I'll show you, I'll go back for a minute so you can see where that is. So when you go back to the site, now you have your username and your password. So you can just enter those in and then click the sign in button, and it will take you to this page, which is your dashboard. So this is kind of your home page. It's personalized to you once you complete your profile, and I'm going to just show you some of the key features of the dashboard, and then we're going to walk through some specific functions, and I'll show you in more detail the various things you can do. But let me just give you an overview of the dashboard. So up on the top, you'll always see my dashboard. Anytime you're on any other page, you can always click on that, and it'll take you back to your dashboard. If you have technical problems and you need to get some support, you can click on the Contact Us button, and you'll be able to send an email to get some technical support. There's the terms and conditions for the use of the site, as well as the user guide, and I'll show you another place to access the user guide and some of these other things here. You can always change your password if you need to, and when you're done, you can log out. The other things that you'll see here, and I'm going to go through these. So you have your start here. So when you're brand new to Cinchwellness, I really recommend that you start with these steps. Setting up your profile, choosing your meal plan, choosing your exercise plan, joining the community, and signing up for a workshop. And I'm going to take you through all of those here in a second. The other thing is quick links. Now, these are just easy places to get you to other parts of the site if you want to. You can access your meal planning, your tracking of your weight, your exercise, progress reports, the community forum, health center, wellness center, go back to your profile game again, and we also even have a link to the Cinch Facebook page. And again, I'm going to take you through a variety of these quick links so you can see where they actually take you. The other thing I want to show you is you today. So this is kind of your snapshot of where you are at that moment, and it updates your BMI, your weight change, what your, how close you are to your goal, reminds you what your target calories are, your exercise level, and as you can see, mine says low there, just because I haven't logged into the site here on this site very often in my exercise plan lately. There's also this incentive points, and I just want to point out, because we've gotten a number of questions about it, it's actually not a functional part of the site yet. We are working on that. The goal would be to give you little incentive points for doing different activities. So if you logged your food intake, you logged your exercise intake, you would gather some incentive points for doing those behaviors. And then you could use those incentive points for some kind of reward. So we're still working on that feature. New messages. This links to the message center here. And if you are communicating with other members, your messages will show up there. They will not go to your email address. You'll have to log back onto Cinchwellness and click on the message center. You can actually click right on that new message, and it'll take you to the message center, and you can see the message that you have waiting in your mailbox. And I'll show you the message center in a little bit later in the program. The other thing you can do, you can track your water intake, and actually, if you click on the plus, this isn't live, but it will add 1 cup of water to your total, and it will do that for the rest of the day. So it's just a nice little tool of tracking your water intake. The other part here, My Status, this is where you can do a health risk assessment, and I'll show you that in more detail. It's a great, just additional tool to use to assess your overall health in a lot of different areas. the wellness blog. These are articles and health information that we try to update on a regular basis and post just for additional learning and information. And I'll show you how to access that and what's there. And then just to show you a couple other things, the success story. This, if you click on this, read success stories, it actually takes you to a bunch of different success stories that we've received over the years, the before and after shot. So if you want to get some additional motivation, check out the success stories. And you can also submit your own success story for our contest that we hold every month, which is a $500 reward for the story that we feel is the most compelling. So that's another place to get there through cinchwellness.com. The other link that you'll see the Cinch snack bar icon. It says buy now. If you click on that, it'll take you back to the member center where you can purchase Cinch products. And this is fairly new. There's an Activate smartphone feature. If you click on that, you can actually set up your phone to access the mobile application of Cinchwellness. If you want to do that when you're on the go, you can certainly do that. So a lot on the dashboard, and it's always a great place to come back to get to where you need to go if you feel lost, but it's pretty easy to navigate. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through this Start Here process. The first thing is setting up your profile. When you click on that, it'll take you to the next screen I'm going to show you. It's a little hard to see here, but the details are not that important until you get on yourself. But you're going to edit your member profile. And when you're doing this for the first time, these fields will all be blank. I have some things in here. So you put your name in, your age, your sex, your height, your weight, and all the details here, what your current weight is, what your goal weight is, what is your goal? Is your goal to lose a pound a week, 2 pounds a week? You would select there. You can even use this to use when you get to maintenance. You can change your profile to maintain weight. There's a drop-down box here under physical activity that gives you a selection of choices depending on how active you think you're going to be. I encourage people not to overestimate their physical activity because you may find that it will give you a higher caloric recommendation, and if you've overestimated, then you're not going to see the results that you want to see. So it's better to underestimate that and exercise more to achieve your goal. Anyway, so you'll enter all of the information here. You'll save your profile, and then what it does next is takes you to kind of your nutritional summary or your nutritional needs. Here it'll tell you, based on the information you put in, what your calories are to maintain your weight, what calorie range you need to facilitate the weight loss goal that you set of a pound a week. This is how I have it set up for me here. And so it's telling me I need between 1,200 and I think 1,400 calories. Can't see it so well on my screen. It also gives you your recommendations for protein, fat, carbohydrate, all your vitamins and minerals, basically, based on the RDA levels for the average person. So you'll get your nutritional needs. You can always come back to this and look at it by clicking on the dashboard left navigation list here, and I want to point that out too because it's important to point out. Anytime you're off the dashboard, you will see this left navigation. These are also shortcuts to a lot of different areas on the site, so you don't always have to go back to the dashboard. If you want to, you can, or you can just be clicking on these various navigation links to take you to where you need to go. So for this one, My Nutritional Needs would take you to the screen. You can also get there from your dashboard. So you've got that initial nutrition recommendations. And this is important because this is going to inform you about choosing your meal plan, which is really the next step. Screen here. So as I said, the next step after you set up your profile, it gives you a recommendation of what calorie level you should be following to reach your goal. You're going to choose your meal plan. So you would click on Choose Your Meal Plan. And just so you know, too, that tab over here will also take you to the same area in the site. But for the first time, feel free to go off the Start Here navigation. So you're going to choose your meal plan. That will take you to a list of meal plan options. So this is your meal planner, as you can see. And this is a drop-down box that gives you the calorie ranges to select from. I was told on my profile that I should be choosing the 12 to 1400. Just so happens for some reason when we got this screenshot it was set at 14 to 1600, but I'm just going to demonstrate what that looks like. So you have a choice of the calories, and then you also have a choice of some options. No restrictions. Maybe this is actually the low lactose is really kind of a dairy-free option. There's also a lacto-ovo-vegetarian option within all of the different calorie ranges. So I'm selecting 14 to 1600 calories, no restriction. And then you can save your meal plan, which you should do, or you can preview it, and it will show you what, I'm going to show you this in a subsequent screen here, what the meal plan looks like. And the meal plans are 7 days, and they rotate, and they're really just there to help you kind of get started, making sure that you're making all of the right food choices and you're getting the right balance of protein, carbohydrate, and fat in your diet. And once you get familiar with that, then you certainly can be personalizing this, and I'll show you how to even personalize your choices as well. But it's a good place to start. Then the next step would be to go to your meal planner. Also, you can always hit the remove button if you want to. Maybe you made a mistake and you picked the wrong meal plan. You can remove it and start over again. So once you hit the go to the meal planner, food planner, it'll take you to what looks like a lot of information here. This is showing the first day of your meal plan, and it'll do it based on calendar. So if you logged in on, Wednesday, this would be Wednesday's meal plan showing up for you. There is a calendar button up here that you can, hit different days, and it will show you the next day or the day before's meal plan. And you can print out your meal plan. You can get a list for shopping purposes of what you need. Everything's here. So you'll have your breakfast, your lunch, your afternoon snack, and a dinner meal. And depending on your calorie range, you may have a mid-morning snack in your meal plan as well. At the bottom, it gives you kind of the overview of how many calories, protein, fat, and carbohydrate that is part of your meal plan. And you're going to use this screen to actually even log your food intake as you go through your day. And I'll show you in another screen how that kind of looks. Another thing to point out, too, is, for example, if you can see where I'm pointing the arrow, that actually says the Cinch shake. And if you hit that, let's say it said vanilla shake and you wanted strawberry that day, you can click that button, and there's a drop-down box that has all of the different Cinch shake flavors, meal bars, and you can choose which one you want if you're going to have something different. Same with the snack bars, your fruits and vegetable choices. There's a drop-down box. So let's say you don't want strawberries, that morning. You want an orange. You can substitute that out. What else should I show you on here? I think that's pretty much it for right this minute. Move on to the next screen. So a little bit of a close-up here. You can see the screen a little bit closer now, and I'm cutting off, I think, the morning meal there, but this is the snack here and the dinner, and just to kind of show you that the food choices will be in here. The Cinch products are logged in here, and this screen actually shows that I logged my food intake. This is what these little check marks are. So as you go through your day, you can log off what you had, and on the right-hand side here, it'll show that you logged that. And it shows you what the calories, protein, and carbohydrates are. So at the end of the day, down here, you'll see, my plan said I should have 1,500 calories, and here's my protein, carbs, and fat, and I was good, and I checked off everything that was on my meal plan. So the reality is that my log totals are the same as my plan totals. And then you can also view the nutrition summary of that day. So if you want to know what your calories, protein, fat, plus all your nutrient intake is for that day, you would click on View Nutritional Summary, and then what happens is it pops up to give you an overview of your day, how many calories you had, all the grams of everything, and the micronutrients and macronutrients are all there. So that's a great additional tool. All right, so the other thing that you can do with your meal planner is you can go to add your own food. So let's say you didn't want to have something that was in the meal plan for breakfast and you're going to have a different food option. You can search the food database. There's about 17,000 different foods in the database, and you can search the database to find that food and add it to your food log. So what you would do is you would search the database. This example shows I typed in the word cheese, and it gives you a box down below here of all the different options, and this is not even hardly any of them showing on the screen, but if you would hit the scroll down, you'll see a whole bunch of options. You have to choose the one that best represents what you consume. So for me here, I chose cheddar cheese, and then you would put in the amount. This is 1 ounce I had. It'll calculate the calories for you, and then you choose which meal you had it for. So in this case, it says breakfast, or maybe you have it as a snack, and there's a drop-down box with the different meals. Then you want to click on Add to Log, and it will actually add that to your daily meal plan if you were to click back on Meal Plan and go back to the previous screen. So you can do that with this feature. You can also create a new custom food. So if you don't find what's in the database, let's say you have something at home that you consume on a regular basis, you can go ahead and create a custom food, and I'll show you on the next screen what happens when you do that. So here you would type in, what it is. I have one piece, and I created a Ham's Veggie Taco. If you go to the unit screen there, that actually scrolls down, and there's all kinds of choices and different quantities that you might be consuming. And if I've got the calories that I was aware of what the calories were. So if you had a box of cereal at home and you were trying to input that because we didn't have it in the database, you would just look on the supplement nutrition facts and find your information. You would choose it. How does it fall into the food group? And what meal that you're consuming it in. Once you do that, this other nutritional information field opens up for you. At first you won't see that until you start filling in the information above, but once you do, you'll be able to add in, if you know carbohydrate, proteins, fats, fiber, whatever values you have at hand, you can go ahead and add those in. Then you'll want to save it. If you're saving it and actually adding it to your food log, you would click the Save and Add to Food Log feature. So that's how you customize your food intake. You can add foods that are outside of your meal plan, and you can log your food intake using the meal planning tool. So back to our dashboard for the next part, which is to choose your exercise plan. Now, it's pretty cool. This site has a lot of exercise plan options for you, and maybe you have your own routine, and that's fine. But if you are looking for new ideas, there is a bunch of different options for you here, just to give you ideas of different types of physical activity that you can do. And so when you choose the exercise plan, it's going to take you to this screen. And right here, I have chosen the beginner walker plan. And you'll see there's a lot of detailed information. It tells you about, how you should be doing it, the steps to take, there's all kinds of tips and information for you. You can remove it if you want to choose a different exercise plan. And there's an abundance of plans, and I'm just going to show you. This isn't even all of them. This is just a few, but you can see the variety. There's a boot camp fitness plan, and if you click on full description, it will tell you all the details about that, and you can choose to select that one if you want. You can print it out for your reference later on, and these are just a few of the various types of exercise plans that are in there. The other thing you can see is exercise samples. There's actually some demos of different exercises in here, and there's categories of core, upper body, lower body, and stretches, and it's kind of fun. I can't show you it being animated, but if I were to click on the back extension, for example, what you would see is a pop-up screen with a close-up of that activity, and this is actually animated. You'll see her kind of go and bobbing up and down to work her lower back area, and it will give you the instructions on how to do the activity if you want to do this type of activity, if you have one of these exercise balls to do it. So it's just kind of cool. There's some bunch of different exercise demos in different categories of types of exercise, so check those out if you haven't. Okay, so moving along here. All right, so we've set up our profile. We've selected our meal plan. We've chosen our exercise plan. So now it's time to join the community. And the community is really a place to meet and greet other people using the plan, ask questions, support one another, learn more information about people who have been using the program for a while, helping people problem solve, all kinds of things to do there. So if you were to click on Join the Community, and by the way, you can reach this also by clicking on the Community quick link, and it takes you to the member forum. So here you can see several different forum categories. If you're new to Cinch, just general free-form discussion on Cinchwellness. If you're doing a challenge, maybe you want to get everybody to participate in the challenge and talk to each other on that forum. Diet, nutrition questions and concerns, exercise, and even the business of Cinch. So if you were to click on Are You New to Cinch, then what you would see is the list of people who have posted different messages on the site, and you can see who posted it. You can see if there was a reply and when it was posted last, and you would just click on that and actually see the actual message and have an opportunity to respond to it. If you want to post a new message, you would just click here, and it would start a whole new message for you to log on. And so check out the member forum because it's a great place to see what's going on with other users and bond with people who are doing the same thing you're doing. Another thing I want to mention, too, is under Community on the left navigation bar, you can also reach the member forum, again, through this quick link. I'll talk more about talking to the dietitian, which is me. You can access your message center. Event registration, we're not really using that right now, but we hope to be able to just to make general announcements of things that are going on in the company related to Cinch, and we will be using that in the future. The Diet Buddy feature, I don't have a screenshot of this, but if you want to hook up specifically with another person, you can hit the Diet Buddy feature and actually search based on kind of similar interests or weight loss goals. And when you set up your initial profile, you'll have a question as whether or not you want to enable yourself to be found as a Diet Buddy. And if you do, then your name will kind of pop up depending on who's searching for what kind of person to partner with. And then you can send that person a message asking if they want to be your Diet Buddy, and then they can respond to that. And it's just a way to connect you with another person. And when you become Diet Buddies, you can actually access each other's information. So you can see each other's food logs. You can see whether you've been tracking your physical activity. It's a way to be accountable to each other. So it's kind of a cool tool as well. All right, so moving on. So the next thing I want to show you is how to sign up for a workshop. We have a number of different workshop options here on Cinchwellness.com, and the purpose of the workshop is to continue your learning, to, again, increase your awareness, your participation, have it be a little bit more interactive, and just learn more about nutrition and health and things that affect your weight. So if you were to click on sign up for a workshop, it would take you to some options here. We have a nutrition workshop, an exercise workshop. Cinch University, which I've got clicked here, is our weight management workshop. It's 12 weeks, a week at a time of tasks come up for you to participate in, and once you've completed those tasks the following week, the next series of tasks will come up, and I'll show you a little bit closer what that looks like. Heart health workshop, blood sugar regulation workshop. So you have a bunch of different options to go through to really educate yourself on a lot of different areas of your health and well-being. So this is what the Cinch workshop looks like the first week of it. If you want to change your workshop, you can click on the Change Workshop area, and that will take you back to the previous screen I just showed you, and you can select a different one. But it just shows you here what your tasks are. You've got several tasks, and these are all active links, and you'll go through them in your own time, and then once you've completed them, there'll be a checkbox in your little boxes on the left-hand side here showing you that you did everything you're supposed to do. You also get a little hint of what's coming up in week 2 to entice you to keep going. And you also have some links over on the right side. You can go right back to your exercise samples, your food log, your meal planner, your weight tracker. You can also access some other resources about portion control, hydration, the American Dietetic Association website, which has some other health information, nutrition and wellness information. So if I were to click on the first task, which is Love That Leucine, what would happen next is you would see that screen pop up. And it's really an exercise in reading the information. You can print it out and read it later. Just talks a little bit about why leucine is important in the Cinch plan. Once you're done with that, then it would take you back to the previous screen that I showed you, and that task would be completed, and then you can complete the other tasks for your workshop week. So that's what the workshops are all about. So now what I want to do, since we've gone through all the Start Here tasks, I want to just show you a few other shortcuts and ways to get to some other features. The quick links I'm going to go through. So the meals, I'm not going to take you back there, but that goes to your meal plan. You're going to see that screen again that gets all the food choices. You can log your meals, quick access to that. Weight tracking is a place for you to track your weight changes and see that graphically over a period of time. So I'm going to click on weight tracking, and you can see what you'll get here is a place to update your weight. So if it's time to weigh, maybe you're doing it once a week, you'll update your weight. And then graphically, you can see it over the time period that you've been on Cinch. And you can change the graph to look for the last week, the last month, the last year, or since you signed up for the program. Down below here, these sections, it will just show you the numbers. So it has the date, your weight. It also, if you've tracked your food intake, will show you your calories, your protein, fat, carbohydrate, and all listed there, based on the dates that you've logged. It's just a good summary. So that's a great way to track your weight. I want to also point out that in most of these screens, there's always a how to use this tool, little helper. So if you don't quite get it right away, just by looking at it, you can click on that for more detailed information. So the next thing I want to show you of this screen was we were just at this update your current weight screen, but there's also the My Current BMI, and this will just give you a snapshot of your body mass index based on your height and your weight and the calculation to create the BMI, and it just shows you where what's considered normal, and you can just track your BMI that way. A great little extra tool. The next thing I'm going to show you is the exercise tracker. So I showed you the exercise plans, I showed you the exercise demos, and this is where you're going to track your activity that you do on a daily basis. So you click that, and it will take you to the tracking tool. Now there's a couple options here. You can search the database for the different activity that you did. I clicked on this drop-down box. This goes way down with a bunch of different activities. This is just the first couple that you can see on the screen. And for example, I went running. I run about a 10-minute mile, so I'm going to select that. And then down below, as with the calorie tracking, in the weight tracking, you get a running total based on the date that you entered, what you did, how many minutes you did it. If you know what your heart rate is, if you're tracking your heart rate, you can put those values in there. And then calories burned for that exercise, which this tool will calculate for you. So I'm going to show you here. We'll go to the next slide. So I picked the running, and then you would enter how many minutes you did it. And again, if you knew your heart rate, you could add that. You don't have to. And then you would click on Add Exercise. When you do that, it shows up down here below for that day. For those of you who may be doing a customized exercise plan, you can also log in what you've done. What it won't do for you is calculate the calories burned. You'll need to know that. So maybe you're at a gym and you're doing certain things, and you happen to know approximately how many calories are burned for that activity. You would just type in your custom exercise, the amount of time that you did it, or the number of laps or whatever you're going to use, units, and estimate calories burned if you knew that, and then you would add exercise, and again, that would add it to your log down below. If you want to write some comments, oh, I had a great workout, oh, I didn't feel so good, whatever it is, just to kind of track how you're feeling at the time, you can go ahead and add that in the comments section, and it will log that for you. And of course, hit Save Comments after you're done with that. So lots of good tools here to track your exercise and determine how many calories you're burning. All right, so the next quick link I just want to show you is the progress report link. And when you click on that, it really just takes you to an overview of how you're doing. You'll see your weight chart. You'll get a list here, and we haven't shown it yet, but there's a way to track your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your blood glucose if you need to. It shows you that over here. Your exercise tracking, how you've been coming along with that, what your body weight is, your BMI, your current nutritional needs, and then this down below is kind of a snapshot of, based on the food that you logged for the day, how you're doing compared to what your target is in terms of calories, protein, fat, carbs, fiber, sodium. It gives you a graphic experience there. The other thing I want to show you up here in the next screen shows you there's a spot that says Analyze My Diet. If you want to click on that, it'll show you how you're doing in terms of reaching those macronutrient goals compared to what the goal is compared to the actual that you logged. So that's nice to just see kind of this visual pie chart of how you did. The meal plans are designed to be about 40% carbohydrate, 30% protein, and 30% fat, so this is pretty close. You could also track the whole last week, the last month, or even since you started the program to see how you're doing more than just one day. Again, there are shortcuts, too, to get back to tracking your weight, your exercise on the top here. You can also, again, reach these things by the left navigation bar, your food log, tracking your weight, your exercise log here if you're doing cardio and strength training. I want to point out, too, the pedometer log. If you're using a pedometer and you want to record your steps, you would click on this pedometer log on the left navigation, and it will take you to a place to do that. Okay, moving along here. The Health Center. When you go to the Health Center, what you'll see is a place to log your blood glucose, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and your heart rate. So you can track this, especially if you have, diabetes or suffering from, high blood pressure, and you want to track these on a regular basis. This is a tool to do it. So this is the blood glucose log. You would enter the time, what your value was, whether it was a random or fasting blood sugar, any medications you might be taking, and then you can save it, and you can then look at the past week, the past month, or since you've been on the program to see how you're doing with your blood sugars. The next option is to do your blood pressure, and again, you can do your systolic and diastolic blood pressure, save it once you're done putting your values in, and, excuse me, this is my voice, take a sip of water. It also educates you on what's considered to be optimal blood sugar or pre-hypertension or stage 1 and stage 2 hypertension. And then the next slide just shows the cholesterol log. Again, you can log your cholesterol, your HDL, your LDL, your triglycerides. You can save those, and you get some education about what's considered desirable and undesirable. Okay, the next quick link is the Wellness Center. Again, this is going to just take you to kind of an overview of your wellness plan. It's going to summarize which workshop you're in, what your meal plan, your calorie level is, how often you want to track your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your blood glucose, your exercise plan. It's just all summarized here for you. And then, as I said, there's a link here back to your profile if you need to edit that for some reason, and the Facebook link page just to bring you to the Cinch Facebook page quickly. The next thing I just want to show you in a little bit more detail is the health profile. This is where you can take your health risk assessment. And this is a great tool to participate in. You can do it in your own time frame. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this area shows you or asks you to answer several questions in different categories. General health, prevention, nutrition, exercise, stress, safety, tobacco use, drug and alcohol, your readiness to change. This is a great tool asking you questions about really, are you ready to change your lifestyle to achieve your goals? Biometrics, I'm going to show you this, but this is another place that links to your body measurements, and I haven't shown you that screen, but there's a way to also get there on the left navigation, a place to track your inch loss. So I'm just going to show you a little bit about what these screens look like, but when you're ready to take the health risk assessment, you would click on that, and it would take you through these various categories, asking you various questions. So I'll show you kind of just general health. Again, simple questions where you can just click, what your answer is, what you think your assessment is of your health. You can continue, and it will take you to the next set of questions. If you don't want to go through the whole thing at the time you're doing it, you can save, and you can continue later. Once you've completed your health risk assessment, you can look at your risk assessment report, and this is not complete, but I just wanted to show you a little bit about what you would see. So your health risks are by section. This is my preventative health and my nutrition. So based on the way I answered those questions, it will categorize your risk as ideal, low, or high risk, depending on how you answer your questions. Again, this is not a substitute for medical advice or anything else, but it's just a nice additional tool to kind of see where you're at in all aspects of your health and wellness. All right, so we got through the startup, the quick links, and then I just want to show you quickly, and we did the health assessment profile and the wellness blog. So here again, just articles on nutrition, fitness, other issues related to weight management. If you click on, for example, the Got Leucine, it would pop up with an article, more to read about leucine. You can print these out. If I were to scroll down at the end of this screenshot, there's a place you can even leave a comment and tell us how what you thought of the article and anything to do with that. You can feel free to leave a comment there. The next thing, I'm kind of bouncing back to the meal plan here because I want to show you a different section that's not as obvious from the screens, but I'll show you how to get there easily. I've underlined the Cinch roast pork tenderloin. When you see in your meal plan something that says Cinch in front of it, that means there's a recipe on the site that goes with that, and I'm going to show you how to find it. So what you would do is from the left navigation bar, doesn't matter where you're at, if you can be in your food log, whatever, come to the Cinch recipe section. When you hit that, it will show up to this screen, and you will see all the Cinch recipes here. If you were to click on those, it opens them up as a PDF file. You can print it out and make that dish as part of your meal plan. The other thing you can do, and this is a little hidden, so I wanted to show you, check out the recipe section. This will take you to a number of recipes that are just in the site here as additional tools and resources. They are not integrated into the Cinch meal plans, but you can certainly check them out and use them to your liking. So I'm going to show you that screen. So once you hit check out these other recipes, you'll come here, and these are all different categories of recipes. And if you click on them, it'll open up the recipes that are there, and you can view them and print them out and do what you want to do with them. I also want to show you that you can, and I'm not showing the details of the screen, but where I have new recipe up above, you can add in your own recipes. You need to search the database for the ingredients. You need to put in the instructions. It's a way for you to get a kind of a nutrition analysis of your recipe and have that in here for you. And so when you have your recipes, they will be available to you at any time. If you want to view all recipes, that's public recipes as well as your own recipes. When you're submitting a new recipe, if you want to make that a public recipe and share it with others and add it down here below, what happens is you're asked to fill out the fields to include all the information necessary, and then you submit it, and it actually goes to me, and I have to go in the back end of this program and approve it. And I can tell you, and I think it's just because people they're not sure what they're supposed to do with it, or they think that they're going to be their own recipe, but they've clicked the public recipes. If the information isn't there, if we don't have instructions, if it's not clear, I'm not going to approve it for public use. It needs to be, clear and understanding of what the ingredients are and how to prepare the meal. But just so you know, that's an option. There's also a place to compare recipes that are in here. It will just show you the difference in their calories, protein, carbs, and fats. So there's a great resource here for creating your own recipes, viewing recipes, and using these tools. The other thing I wanted to show you here was the Talk to the Dietitian, which you'll find on your left navigation bar. And when you click on that, it takes you to the screen, and you're more than welcome to send me a message. Fill out the subject, type in your message, and click Send Message. And that goes to my message center box. And then I will know that I have a message because it does go to my Shackley email, so I'll know that I have a message waiting for me at the Cinchwellness site, and then I log back in and I can answer your message. So if you have a particular problem you're having, or a particular question that you need addressed, you can use this feature. I talked about the Diet Buddy features. Just want to point out too, you can talk to your Diet Buddies in the message center as well. One thing that I want to remind folks about that is if I respond back to you, it's not going to go to your email. It will go to your Cinchwellness account. And so that dashboard page where I showed you the You Today snapshot, you'll see that there is a message waiting for you in your message center. A number of people I have responded to, and then I don't think they realize that they have to go back on the site to get my response. And it won't go directly to your email. Let's see. I wanted to show you the body measurement tracking. So down here on the left navigation where it says body measurements, that takes you to this screen. And if you want to track all your inches lost, which we highly recommend, this is the place to do it. And you can add any measurements, your waist. We've got all these different types of measurements you can do. I definitely recommend the waist and the hips. But if you want to measure all these different areas, you can. And then you click on Add Measurements. And I've been very bad. I haven't taken my measurements, so you can see there's no values down here below. But my weight is there. Actually, that's not my weight, but it's a fictional weight for confidentiality purposes. But anyway, it's there. So this is how you would access your body measurement tracking. All right, we're getting ready to wrap up here. So I'm going to move on to the next screen, which is, again, back at the dashboard. So as you can see, we've gone through pretty much, all the key features of the site. Again, it takes a little just getting on the site and navigating through it and playing around with it. But I have to tell you, we get very few complaints about the usability of the site. These tools are always a challenge. They're never perfect. There's always some things that could be better about them. But I think overall, you get a lot here for that $350 a month, or for the 3 months free if you're signing up with the Cinch Starter Kit or Sample Pack. At any time you need some help, there is a user guide. What I would recommend that you do, you can click on the top here where it says user guide, or on the left navigation bar. The left navigation bar on the other screens, actually, I just noticed today that there was a problem here, that we have a user guide that's specific for our site, and the one that you're seeing here on the next screen, that's not the right one, but you'll get the right one if you click on the left navigation bar, and then this one will be fixed too up top here. But it has all the instructions on how to use the features again. But again, the best way to do it is to get on and experience it. And if you don't like it, you can always get your money back. But I really think it has a lot to offer, not only for people who are trying to lose weight, but just to maintain your health and wellness through these key behavior changes, which is to self-monitor and to get the support you need through connecting with other people. So I think we're about ready to wrap things up and move into our Q&A.
Okay, Jody, can you give everyone instructions on how to get in queue for a question? Then we're going to take some online questions as well.
Thank you. If you do have a question, please press the number 1 on your touch-tone phone. You'll hear an acknowledgement that you have been placed in queue. If your question has been answered and you wish to be removed from the queue, please press the number 1 again. All questions will be queued in the order that they are received. Once again, if there are any questions, please press the 1 on your touch-tone phone.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Pam. That was absolutely incredible. I learned a lot more that I needed to know about the Cinch Wellness side as well, so I can answer questions much better. And we do have quite a few questions. So I think we'll just, while we're getting people in queue here, we'll take a few questions. I'm going to take the first question because it asked if we have meal plans for diabetics, and essentially all the Cinch meal plans are appropriate for diabetics. Most people, if you're being diagnosed with prediabetes or you have type 2 diabetes in particular, then your dietitian and or your physician should have given you a calorie level that they are anticipating you be on, although you can just go through our sites, as Pam walked everybody through tonight, and determine exactly by virtue of your height and weight and age and sex as to what your calorie plan should be. So you can walk right into any of these plans. All of these plans are perfectly appropriate for a diabetic, because the goal with diabetes is to eat more healthfully and to lose weight. And that's what we're helping people do with our Cinch program, and making it even more doable with the cinchwellness.com site is to eat more healthfully, learn how to do it, learn why that's important, and to be able to put it into action with accountability and social support and all those sorts of things. So absolutely fine for diabetics, type 1 or type 2 diabetics, actually. Gluten-free meal plans.
Good question. We currently do not have gluten-free meal plans in the site. That is something that I can do. There's a lot of potential to add more meal plans to the site. It's just been a matter of time and resources to doing that. But what I tell people is that the products are gluten-free, with the exception of the peanut butter chocolate chip meal bar, which is manufacturing facility where there may be some contamination just from the oats that are in the product there. So for those of you who are on gluten-free diet, I think you're smart enough to know what the substitutions that you can make if you see those in the meal plan. So by adding food from the database and finding the suitable option that's gluten-free, you can manipulate the regular meal plans to be gluten-free pretty easily. But I'll keep that in mind as something that we can work on to add.
And can more than one person use the Cinch Wellness subscription? How does that work?
It is set up because it's personalized to just be a one-person situation. So for that, payment option, you're really getting a personalized program for one person to use. So the bottom line is it is really intended as an individual self-tool for each person.
So really only one person could enter information and have that be factored into the plan, but certainly another person in the household could go and take a look and see what kinds of things are there. But if they wanted to track their own progress and get their
Absolutely,
own
because as you
information
can see, you can only set up one profile, so
Right.
that dictates everything else in the site. I mean, obviously, the other person can go in and use the, wellness blog and access the information.
Sure, ask a question to the dietitian.
Right, ask a question to the dietitian. But in terms of tracking your food intake and calories, it's really kind of personalized to the profile that was set up.
And one of the other questions is someone, if their calorie amount was shown to be 1,800, could they choose 1,500? Well, clearly they could. That will, potentially lead them to lose weight a little bit faster and or possibly be hungry. If they're, if your body really, to lose weight, because what the site is helping you do is determine what calorie level you need to be at in order to lose weight, and lose weight at that safe rate of 1.5 to 2 pounds a week. So if you cut down your calories more than that, you may lose weight a little bit faster, but you also may potentially be hungry and not do as well. So we urge you to follow the recommendation. If over, a few weeks to a month you're not losing weight, then that may indicate that yes, you do need to cut down to that lower calorie.
Right, and you need to remember that these estimate your calorie intakes, and there's always, a range of what you need. So, if you're on 1,800 calories and that's what it's told you to do, and as Dr. Jamie said, 2 weeks have gone by, 3 weeks have gone by, and you're not seeing the change that you would expect to see, then number one, make sure you are actually consuming the meal plan, and number two, consider exercising more if you haven't been doing enough of that. I'd rather have you exercise more than cut back your food intake, but you can always modify it and drop down to 1,500 calories if you think that that would work better for you. But try it out what it's recommending to start with, and monitor yourself.
So, and I'm not sure on this, can you print out the dietary logs and or things like the blood sugar page? I mean,
I think you can. I don't have the screen. I took some screenshots to do this, but I'm pretty sure you can print out anything off of your screen. But I'll double check that. For the person who asked, if you're on the site, you could just send me that message and talk to the dietitian, and I'll just double check. But I think you can.
Okay. And you want to talk to them a little bit about BMI? There's some questions about what is BMI.
BMI, it stands for Body Mass Index, and it's kind of the method that's kind of used today to kind of assess your healthy weight. It's not a perfect measurement because it's really calculated based on your height and your weight and your age, but it's a summary of where you fall in the normal to obese category, and that's why it's a useful tool. Where it doesn't work too well is with like the bodybuilder population, because it doesn't account for muscle versus fat weight. So if you are a bodybuilder and you're 300 pounds, and you put that in to calculate your body mass index, and it may show that you're obese when you're really not obese because you've got all this muscle mass. So it's just another tool to kind of assess where you are. The higher your BMI, the higher your obesity and weight issues are, and there's a relationship between health issues and your BMI and other health conditions.
Absolutely. So apparently we have some questions or some callers on the line with questions. Kathy?
We do, sure. Hi, Pam. This is Kathy Keating. We have a distributor named Lisa Palmer on the phone with us who has a question for you. Lisa, are you there?
Yes. I have a question about, is there any type of chat room?
There's not a chat room feature at this point. That is something that we had hoped to add to this program. The best that there is the message center. So you can really only message one person at a time. The community forums, you can kind of talk to each other, but it's not a live chat type of feature, but we're hoping to add that down the road.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. And a follow-up, actually, to that question, Pam, is are there a lot of people using the Message Center? Do you ever go in there, and is there a way to go in and monitor and see how many folks are using it?
I haven't gone through the back end to look specifically at the Message Center. I do know from talk to the dietitian that I do get regular messages on a daily basis, and activity seems to be picking up. since weight loss season is in place here, and we've been doing a lot to promote Cinch and getting users to use it. The community forums, you can see, I mean, it takes time for people to, get used to, posting messages. And so, it's growing, and the more you do it and the more you respond, it kind of
builds upon itself. Right. And we had a question come through about can you have multiple diet buddies? Is there a limit on the number?
No, I think you can have multiple diet buddies, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. And we have another caller?
That's very cool. Yes, we do. And this time I'm going to take a question from, is it Nina Messina?
Yes, thank
Nina
you.
Or Mina?
Hi. Mina.
Yeah, I thought so. Hi, Mina. How are you?
Hi, I'm hanging in here.
Good.
I know, Carol, I don't know if you're there, but I know we spoke earlier today about, she said that Cinch is vegan, and I just wanted to hear more about that and other, not for myself, but for a friend that I know that has tried many diets. And are there other products, like snack products and other things that Shaklee offers for vegans?
Well, there certainly is an approach in Cinch that supports an ovo-lacto-vegetarian diet. Is that correct, Pam? But it is not vegan.
It is not a vegan plan. The Cinch shakes, are enhanced with leucine. The leucine source is derived from animals. So for the person who is a strict vegan, they're not going to be doing, they may not choose to do the Cinch products because of that. The shakes in particular and the bars, because of the added leucine that comes from. It's not a vegan source. So just make sure.
So what exactly is leucine? Is it a fat?
It's an amino acid. It's found in protein foods. So dairy, for example, is a good concentrated source of leucine. It's available in the soy. So the shakes and bars, there's leucine that naturally comes from the protein foods that you eat, as well as the soy and the dairy and all that kind of things that are made with the shakes. But we've enhanced it with some free leucine to get to the levels of leucine that have been shown to help preserve lean muscle mass in the context of the meal plans. And that's not vegan sourced.
Okay, so then because she checked into this last year, and I called her, and she said she checked into it, and there wasn't anything vegan, and so.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's really, it's really not set up for that.
Yeah, and actually, I do have another quick question. If you're not, how many shakes can you have a day? I'm not really interested in losing. If I lost 5 pounds, that would be nice, but I'm not interested really in the weight loss as much as the energy drink.
Sure. You can have 1, 2, or 3 shakes a day, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're just trying to utilize the shakes for a healthy breakfast or a healthy lunch, 1 a day is absolutely fine. That's why we include the Cinch shakes as part of the Prescription for a Healthier Life, kind of our nutritional foundation program. So it's a great healthy meal alternative with fiber and protein and lots of added vitamins and minerals.
And is it satisfying as a meal?
Very satisfying.
Extremely. We almost never have anyone complain about being hungry with our shake.
There's a good quantity of protein when you mix it as prepared. Again, 24 grams of protein. Protein is really critical in terms of satiety. You get 6 grams of soluble fiber. It's pretty good in the hunger control situation.
And this would be also appropriate for my 14-year-old daughter who has tried it and loves it and wants to lose 10 pounds.
Yeah, the program itself is designed for adults. Teenagers, since their nutritional needs are pretty close to adults at that age, it would be fine. I don't know if Dr. Jamie wants to add any more about that. And certainly the Cinch shakes and bars are perfectly fine for younger children to just consume as part of a healthy meal or snack.
Exactly. There are the shakes and the bars, meal bars, snack bars, as well as the shakes are perfectly fine even for young children. Just, if you had like a 3 or 4-year-old that wanted to share in mom's or dad's shake, it's perfectly fine. They're, not going to drink a whole shake, but, half of 4 ounces or something is absolutely fine. There's nothing unsafe, certainly for children. They're good, healthy, protein, shakes, basically, so no problem. But it's a teenager's weight loss. I just urge caution and parents paying attention to what their teens are doing. There certainly are a lot of teenage girls in particular who get into some worrisome eating habits related to what they perceive to be dieting needs and all that sort of thing. So there's a lot of wacky websites out there that, encourage unsafe behaviors and that sort of thing. So we always are a little cautious with the weight loss in teenagers, but the products are perfectly safe, and certainly if they were logging onto Cinchwellness and created their own profile and really, followed all the educational things, then they're, really going to be getting a lot of really good information.
Okay. And so since my daughter, I'm a member, thank you for being so patient with me. I'm a member. My daughter is not because she's under 18. I think she would do better with logging on and doing all this. She's computer savvy.
You can use membership ID.
You need a member ID for that.
Okay, so she can do that. And I'm sorry, I missed the first minute when you first came on, Dr. McManus. What kind of a doctor are you?
I'm an MD. I'm family practice.
Family practice. Oh, good for you. This is a great program, and I will support it with other friends that aren't vegan. Thank you for your time.
Oh, great. Absolutely. No problem.
Mina.
Thanks for checking in with us.
Thank you. I'm going to sign off, so thank you again for your time. And
you bet. Absolutely. Thank you, Mina.
Thanks.
Okay, so a good follow-on, I think, to Mina's questions. Do you need to be a member? Do you need to have a Shaklee ID number to use cinchwellness.com?
The answer to that is yes. At this point, you do. So, if you aren't a member yet, we encourage you to. I mean, it makes sense if you're going to follow the Cinch program to become a Shaklee member because you get a much better pricing on products.
Right.
So we encourage that anyway, and I don't see why someone would object to doing that.
Right. And this month we have the Cinch sampler pack that comes with a $70 purchase, right?
Yeah.
As well
when you
join. So if you join as a member and you make a $70 purchase, then you have the Cinch sampler pack that comes for free. You can purchase the Cinch sampler pack, which comes with 3 months of Cinchwellness for free. But you also, if you're just joining as a member because you want to get Vitalizer or any other product, you are then going to also be introduced to the Cinch products through the Cinch sampler pack, and also be able to experience Cinchwellness and experiences like Mina, where maybe you don't need to lose weight, but another family member does. And so it's another way that we can reach out and connect with more people related to getting healthy. And as Pam has said, clearly Pam and I log on to Cinchwellness, and it's not we don't need to lose weight, but we're certainly interested in not only all the things we're doing to support all of you, but also in it's good to just be kind of accountable and thinking about what you're eating, and are we exercising enough? And no, generally most days we're not, because we're here as opposed to exercising. But and then I also wanted to remind everyone that the 3-month Cinchwellness, that was another question, all the ways that you get Cinchwellness for free, it comes with the starter kit also, so that anyone who's serious about losing weight, we clearly want them to purchase a Cinch starter kit. And the 3-month Cinchwellness comes with that. And because you get the better price as a member, hopefully you're joining as a member to get the best price to purchase your Cinch starter pack at a member price.
That's right. That's exactly right. And
can I make one more comment about the goal of having Shaklee members? We wanted to make it more of an exclusive site. There's a lot of websites out there. You can go and get diet information or free tracking tools, but this is a way for us to keep it clean, keep, a lot of the spam, no advertising, so it does really help in keeping it what we want it to be.
Yeah, and it's 10 cents a day once you're paying for it.
Right.
Yeah.
You're worth 10 cents a day.
We hope so.
We think so. Can you use Cinchwellness on a Mac?
Yes.
Macintosh computers?
Yes.
Compatible?
And if there are some differences in your internet browser that you use, so just that. I had an email earlier today saying I can't, for some reason, access it on Firefox, but I can do it on Safari. I don't have any problem on Internet Explorer or Firefox, and it's supposed to be good for most of those browsers. But if you're having trouble, on Internet Explorer, go try it on Firefox, and you may be happier with how it looks and works for you.
Okay. And It's a lot of information that we put into the site when we log into, when we get started and we want to create a program for ourselves. So some people might have a question about how secure that private information is. Can you speak on that, Pam?
I can. That's a great question. There are a few of us that are administrators to the site, and I can get in the back end. Just so you know, we cannot see any specific information. We can run reports looking at just the population as a whole, how much weight, aggregate information. But your information is secure. Make sure that you read the terms and conditions because it explains, the security of the information. And a lot of people don't want to go through reading all that, but I want to make sure that you're aware that there are the terms and conditions so you understand the site and the information that's there.
Okay, excellent. There's a couple of questions actually that are coming through on the webcast console about Shaklee products. Does the food database contain other Shaklee protein powders and sports drinks, Vivix, etc.?
Great question. Yes, but you just reminded me I need to go see if Vivix is in there. I think that was put in there, but all the key food products are in there, things that have, the good nutritional value information. We added those to the database. So, but I'm going to double-check Vivix because I can't remember if I added that one. But
and that's how you account for the supplements that you're taking. Basically.
Yes, you can add, if you want to log those additionally, you can do that, and that will add to your nutritional summary.
Okay.
So you can see how much you really are taking.
Exactly.
We have another question on the phone I think we'll take from Associate Teresa Wakefield. Teresa, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Come on in.
I was just wondering, this is all, individualized, you were saying. So with a Shaklee ID, how many sites could someone purchase, for a family or something?
I think you can do multiple. I don't think there's even a limit on it. So once you have a Shaklee membership ID, you can set up a number of accounts within that one membership ID.
We definitely have business leaders that are setting up, purchasing Cinchwellness for their customers and some of even their members, just as an added perk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's no limit on that.
So you can do that.
All right, thank you.
So we had a question also about the pedometer automatically going on to the exercise tracking page. How does that work?
There is, as I said, on the left navigation bar, there's a separate tab that says pedometer log. So that's how you're going to log your steps.
And then it goes on to the...
And then it goes on to the exercise tracking. I believe it does.
So if somebody's running versus walking, there's an accommodation.
Yes.
That automatically is...
It should be added to the tracking tool.
Excellent.
Okay.
How are we doing, Kathy?
Well, we've got another question on the phone. I thought we might take it from Frank Taradante. Frank?
Hi. Appreciate you taking the call. I'm a director out here in Colorado. I have two questions. How do we have several members that actually are pretty good at working their phones? How do I tell them to enter this in a mobile fashion or on the mobile?
When they have their account, if you go onto the dashboard, I showed it in the beginning, it says Activate Smartphone. When you click on that, I think it asks you, what your service provider is, whether it's, here in California we have AT&T and Verizon and whatnot, and then you put in your information, and then it should set it up for you, and then you, on your smartphone, I believe you receive a text saying, you're set up, and then you can access it there. It's more of a, I would say, it's a mobile application. It kind of basically takes you to the site through your phone, and it will look similar to what it looks like here online.
Very good. Okay, excellent. And then on custom foods, how do we enter fats and carbs? When you enter the food, something custom that you come up with that you're using now, or that we're using, it doesn't show fats and carbs. Is there a specific way to get at that? I know you mentioned it, and I didn't hear it on the webinar.
What you have to do is you have to complete those first fields where it tells you to put in the amount, calories. Once you do that, it should show a little icon below that says Add Nutritional Information. If you click on that, it opens all the fields, and you can add vitamins and minerals and all your macronutrients in there. If you are having trouble with that, try it again and see if it works for you. If you're having trouble, just send me a message, and I'll see if I can help you out with it. But it should show up. You have to enter the initial information first, and then that little icon to add nutritional information will show up.
Very good. Appreciate it. And last comment, it's a great program. I absolutely love this thing. We've been planting seeds like crazy. Put the bug out there. Maybe you can give us that special $70 buying a membership and getting some samples. Maybe at least another week or two would be great.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you under consideration. Exactly. We'll take it into consideration. Thank you so much.
You would not be the first to have asked, Frank.
No.
I doubt I am. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate all the help, Jamie and Pam.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, you bet. So, Pam, once somebody, drops some weight and they want to put in a new weight, they log back in the beginning and change their weight?
Yeah, there's if they have maintained their weight and they want to, or if they've reached their goal and now they want to go to kind of maintenance, what you can do is go back to that profile. There's a left navigation, hit the profile, take you back to your profile again, and you can edit your profile and reestablish, it based on your current weight and your maintenance goals.
And then we had a question about the difference between the various fitness goals. I have to say I haven't looked at that. There's a pull-down menu on fitness goals.
There are exercise plans,
okay,
which gives you just different options. So what I showed tonight was kind of the beginning walker, and it just describes what it is, the steps to take, some tips on heart rate, and all these.
And certainly someone who has quite a bit of weight to lose and hasn't exercised regularly, that's definitely the place we want you to start.
Yeah.
And if you have any health issues, especially heart issues, you really should check with your doctor before you start any exercise plan. And then for those of you out there that may already be participating in some kind of activity, then those are the kind of options that are in that pull-down menu that give them kind of a little more their level of exercise.
So there's exercise plans to choose from just to give you ideas, but there's also the tracking tool, which has a whole host of lists from raking the lawn to, playing croquet, whatever it is.
Of great interest is to see how many calories are being burned.
Exactly,
right?
that you can choose just to track your activity. So there's exercise plans just to give you an idea of what you should do, and if you choose a cardio plan or a strength training plan, that will show up in your log just to remind you what your plan is.
Okay. Hey, we have another question on the phone from Lisa Palmer. Hi, Lisa. Come on in.
Hi, I had a question about the Vitalizer. It has the 7 vegetables that you need for the day. Is that counted in with this? The count?
Where are you reading that it has 7 vegetables?
Well, I thought it had the vegetables that you needed for today.
No, definitely not. You need to eat those fruits and vegetables every day. No, Vitalizer provides you a lot of the nutrients that are in fruits and vegetables. But
Right.
a substitute for eating fruits and vegetables because you're getting phytonutrients, and so we definitely strongly encourage people to be, consuming those fruits and vegetables every day. They're low-calorie nutrition, all the sorts of reasons. Vitalizer, again, provides you this comprehensive kind of nutritional assurance, kind of your foundational amounts, which include some of the antioxidants and vitamins and minerals that many people are not consuming in their diet on a regular basis because they're, eating more fast foods and processed foods and that sort of thing. So, but there's not actually any equivalent servings of fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
So
you wouldn't need to put it on the chart or anything then? Okay.
Chart? Oh, you mean?
No, I mean you can log it, so that
you don't track it as a fruit or as a
right, but you don't check it as a fruit.
Supplement.
Right. You would go to the add food log part and identify it, and then it would just add into your nutrient totals for the day.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay.
We have a question. A couple of folks would like to know if it's okay to use Cinch along with a gastric bypass.
Sure, absolutely.
Gastric bypass. We get that a lot, I know.
I'll make a few comments, and I'm sure Pam will have a few comments too. As a dietitian, she's answering more of these questions. But yes, certainly, our goal, one of our goals with having our Cinch program is to help people avoid the need for having a gastric bypass. It's a significant surgery and significant subsequent issues sometimes with maintaining optimum nutritional status after a gastric bypass is done. And so we'd love to, in a perfect world, avoid gastric bypasses completely. But for those who have had gastric bypasses, then yes, certainly, our nutritional products are very, very appropriate for use. Most people need to consume smaller volumes, and so you have to determine what your volume limitations are. So you may have to do half of a shake or even a third of a shake and kind of just space that out once an hour, every couple of hours, trying to get, exactly the caloric need that your doctor or the dietitian has recommended for you. You can crush up the 3-in-1 boost if you want to, and you can consume the bars, but smaller amounts with water and all that. I don't know if you have any other comments about that.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on how when you had that bypass surgery. I mean, if you're just post, you may want to seek the advice of the doctor or the surgeon that did it. I know that people can struggle with something called dumping syndrome, which is if there's too much, concentrated carbohydrate in a serving, that can cause some GI distress. So again, frequent smaller portions are highly recommended. And the other thing is that I've read in the literature around bariatric surgery, especially if you've had it for a while and you're doing meal replacement shakes, that may not work the best for you because they're kind of easy to get down, and you can actually take in probably more calories than you ideally want to in that situation to continue your weight loss and weight loss goals. So again, if you're really watching your calories and you really got it all under control, you can use them, but it may not be to your advantage. It might be better for you to eat just solid foods in smaller portions because it takes more time to consume those.
They could really put that plan together on the Cinchwellness side if they wanted.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I think we're good. So
we've just about come to the end of our time together, and I do want you to answer one question for us, Dr. Jamie, having to do with, actually it was a suggestion, which I think is really great. You can read it if you want.
All right, great.
It's a good one.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I do want to thank Pam for, number one, all of her incredible work on making the Cinchwellness site so incredibly fabulous for all of us and all of you to be able to achieve your own level of success with Cinch and with health overall, as well as to reach out and really help large numbers of people. I mean, we have a major epidemic in this society, and it's not going in a positive direction. Well, it's going in a positive direction, and that's that we're gaining more weight, unfortunately. We need to get it going in a negative direction. And so thank you, Pam, so much for all of your efforts and support for everyone out there, achieving success. So the question is, or the comment is, I guess, how about we have regional meetings that are similar to Excite, but really are focused on helping people start and maintain healthier lifestyles and to learn about health and wellness and all that. Well, I'm happy to say that, last spring we started these health and wellness seminars that have been either a part of the Shackley Showcase event and/or last year we had some Friday night events that were associated with the Excite meetings, but the Excite meetings are really more business-oriented. So this spring, we're going to be having a series of what we're calling health and wellness and first step training, first step trainings, where they will be Saturday events, and we will have a health scientist, Pam, Les, or myself at these events, and they're going to be all-day Saturday events. The morning will be kind of an introduction to health and wellness, a little bit about why supplementation is so important, all that information that we've been providing in various forums here over the last couple of years. So a great place to bring your new people to who want to hear about health and wellness, and then a little bit of an introduction to Shackley as a company, with the afternoon being oriented towards a little more in-depth product information for people, as well as kind of getting started in the business for those who are looking to make a little extra income or really even jump into the business full speed ahead, I guess. And so we're excited about that forum. We also have some Shackley Showcase events in a couple of different locations across the country, and we really are very, very, very excited and oriented towards helping you reach out to new people. Any way that we can support all of you reaching more people, that is what we are very excited about and inspired and motivated to do in health sciences. That's really our goal. Everyone here in Shackley, of course, but that's, you know, in these monthly health sciences calls, of which we've now done 3 this month. It's been a good month to reach out to you, and we've had many hundreds to almost 2,000 on these calls over these last few weeks. So we really appreciate your interest, as well as your commitment to be out there and make a difference in the world that we live in. So any closing comments, Pam?
No, my voice is tired, so I'm ready to call it quits. And but you certainly can send me a message on cinchwellness.com, and I will do my best to answer in a timely fashion.
There you go. She may get more than a few after tonight. And everyone get out there, and happy cinching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes tonight's teleconference. Thank you for participating. You may all disconnect.